Is your brand ready for AI? I'm not just talking about ChatGPT prompts, but the full spectrum of AI transforming retail media today. Join me for an essential 5-part series with AI strategy expert Lauren Schiavone. Over the next 3 weeks, we'll move from basic AI literacy to advanced concepts like agentic AI and the future of consumer path to purchase. Whether you're a brand, retailer, or agency, this series will give you the roadmap you need to navigate retail's AI revolution. Good morning and welcome to the Retail Media Breakfast Club. I'm your host, Kiri Masters, and every weekday at 6 a.m. Eastern, I bring you candid and real discussions in the world of retail media and marketplaces in just 10 minutes. So bring your own cup of coffee and we'll get smarter about retail media together. So today I'm talking again with Lauren Schiavone, who is the founder of Wonder Consulting, an innovative AI-focused consultancy dedicated to empowering leaders to thrive in an AI-driven world. With nearly 2 decades of experience as a Procter & Gamble executive, Lauren combines deep expertise in consumer insights, brand strategy, sales leadership, and enterprise transformation with cutting-edge AI knowledge. Lauren, we have talked about so far how to get started with AI, specifically if you're in a role that touches media buying, CPG, brand management, retail media, etc. We have talked about what does agentic AI mean, and we're going to get into the difference between that and other types of AI assisted technologies. But today we're going to talk about how to select AI enabled partner solutions and sniff out the BS. And I think that there's a little bit of concern on the brand side a little bit about like, is this agentic stuff just a buzzword? How do I tell the difference? So let's jump into some of your best practices for selecting partners.
So I think this is a great question because oftentimes you have uneducated leaders on both sides of this discussion, right? You've got sales folks, maybe for a software that maybe are not as informed as they should be, and you can certainly have business leaders that are under-informed on AI. So sorting through the BS is going to be very important. And what I'd also say is, like, if you are a person having a conversation with a vendor and you do not have expertise, like, bring someone in. Like, whether that's someone at your company or outside partner, you don't have to have all the expertise. You just have to, kind of know where to get it. Okay, and then 2 quick things we're going to get to before we talk about actually how do we assess solutions. So first, right, as we just talked, we need to understand the difference between AI assistants, AI agents, but I'm going to throw in one more. AI automation, okay? I feel like I'm seeing a lot of AI automation tools being framed as AI agents. So here's a little bit about AI automation. Great examples of that are like Zapier or Make.com. So AI automation is predefined rule-based execution. So think of that as if X happens, then we do Y. So an AI automation could trigger like an email response to a customer support ticket, for example. And remember, that's not AI agents because AI agents are goal-oriented and not rule-based. Okay, and then the other thing that I would say before you go looking at, different people to have conversations with is keep it simple. You really do not want a million tech solutions to manage in a space that's rapidly evolving. Make sure you do a full assessment of your current technology, including your ChatGPT or, whatever equivalent you might be using. You want to understand the AI capabilities of your current systems, whether that's something like Notion or Salesforce, right? Are you using them? Do you understand them? Do you know what's on their AI roadmap, right? That's the first step you should be taking, because if you're already using a technology, the company is already comfortable with the technology, that's really where you should be starting. And then I always say, like, be really clear and choiceful if you're going to bring a new tool on board, right? Be really, really clear on what is this unique use case that cannot be solved with existing tools, and make sure you're really clear on that before you go, talking to a bunch of folks. Okay, now that I sort of set those ground rules, any like questions on those before we talk about if you're going to go talk to someone, you know what to think about. Okay. So if you're clear you need something, then you're going to want to have the vendor walk you through the technology step by step. How is each step completed? Is that an AI assistant? Is that agentic AI? Is that automation? What is the level of human engagement needed at each step? What is the amount of data needed at each step? Is that data you as a company need to provide, for example? Many demos, and this is broader than just agentic, but in AI also, many demos that appear to sort of be agentic or seamless are actually being done by hand today and being made pretty, to look for you. And, always a red flag, as I've learned, is when you sort of ask how they do something, it's proprietary AI. Like that's certainly a red flag. You should also have a conversation on what are the expected outcomes from the tool. Will it reduce costs? Like, be specific. By when? What is needed to do that? Will it increase revenue? Again, be specific. By when? What's needed? And then this is like maybe a hot take, but one of the things I would be talking to potential partners about is paying for expected outcome. So, if this is a tool to increase revenue, then agree to pay when you increase revenue or a certain proportion of that, up to a certain amount versus just paying per user. So sort of have these vendors put their money where their mouth is and accomplishing what they say they can accomplish.
I like that because you're talking about like the whole value prop of an AI agent is to work towards an outcome. And that you said that that's the difference between AI automation, which is rule-based. And that's when, you might be coming up with an approach or the vendor might be coming up with an approach. But if it is outcome-based, then it does lend itself really well to performance-based pricing.
Yeah. So another key part is going to be training and upskilling. Oftentimes a pilot can just fail because you haven't trained people, right? So who's on point for training? How many people do you need to train? What does that time commitment look like? What if a question comes up while you're using the tool? All of these tech teams might not have great customer service or great client service. Who's going to support you? What does that look like? How are you going to navigate challenging issues? I would also have a conversation with them about safety. What's the safety measures? What guardrails are put in place? And, sort of what else is needed to get started? How long is the setup process? If it is going to take months, that's a big red flag for me, given the pace of AI is just so rapid. And then another thing to think about, how will the tech learn and improve over time? So it has to, if it's like real AI, particularly agentic AI, it's going to need to improve and you're going to want it to learn and improve over time. You also want to understand what is the roadmap for this technology, right? It shouldn't just be a one and done. You want to know that it's going to get better, when it's going to get better, etc. And then the last thing I would sort of just say is I would ask for very specific case studies. I would ask for referrals. And I would ask to test it before you buy it, at least for a week or two to get in it and get your hands dirty in it.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing your insight with us, Lauren. And we're going to continue the conversation about AI, talking about the path to purchase evolution and how that's going to change with AI agents and assistants. Well, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Retail Media Breakfast Club. We meet here every day at 6 a.m. Eastern. So be sure to subscribe and get your daily dose of insights, trends, and hot takes in the world of retail media and marketplaces.